when I was a teenager, and I belonged to the church youth, and it was the young Christian workers or students then during the apartheid years that introduced me to mixing with other young people, and that kind of, I think, initiated somehow the consciousness of my being. But when I moved into Athlone, I got involved with the Black Women's Federation, and I was raided. I was detained, and from then it just escalated. Actually, the more I got detained, the more determined I was that one day we will be free. And in terms of that, there's no ways you can stop, because the struggle for us was a way of life. The struggle was actually led by women. If you look at protests, who are those people that are in the front? It's the women. It was shown in the Women's March, for example. You know, it was women that took up that march August the 9th. Only women. My understanding was always, together with my partner or with the men, we will together fight for freedom, right? At times, most of the men were working, and some of the women were at home. So there was much easier for us to mobilize and to also empower women, because generally, and it's still today, I mean, it might be a bit better, but it's still today, women are very much still oppressed. It's the fight for the rights of women to be acknowledged, and also to be able to access these beautiful laws that we have which protect women. I think it's the consciousness, you know, of the fact that your struggle is not about the male, it's about an evil system. And with this system brings all these evil things: oppression of women, oppression of men, exploitation, etc.
In post-apartheid South Africa, we then were propelled into the new leadership of the city of Cape Town, first being a deputy mayor, and then eventually became the mayor of Cape Town. Different roles, different responsibilities. Can you explain that and how you manage that shift?
Within myself, I'm a political activist. Then I become a mayor with this heavy chain that was made for men. It wasn't made for women. It used to hook into your shoulders. And you had this cloak, and then you had to adapt now, right? There was a march onto Civic Center when I was mayor. I led that march. I marched because I was agreeing with what the issue was, and I think it was about electricity. And so I led the march onto myself, by the way. I must have, because I was wearing the chain, the robe, and I led the march onto the council, because I forgot, you know, that I'm actually sitting in there, and I had to march here, and I thought, no, but I prefer to be here. So I marched, yes, I marched, led the march there. And in council, it was one of the political parties that got up and said, "How dare you, mayor, lead a march onto yourself?" So I said, it was easy, I just walked. I think it was still this ingrained, you know, mentality that at heart you're still a political activist. And at that level, your activism would come out in terms of your contribution that you make in those committees. So it wasn't a difficult thing for me to march against the city, because I was used to marching. We mustn't hide our consciousness. We must expose it.